Hello and welcome to a new video. So in February of last year I started a 10 HP Ironman, and right here you can see myself getting 75 wood cutting on it. So the main goals for my 10 HP Ironman were amethyst arrows and a magic short bow. But amethyst arrows have some huge requirements, and those requirements are 85 crafting, 92 mining and 82 fletching. So I have to get a lot of stuff done. By the way, I play this account like 2 or 3 hours a day. That's why it takes me like 4 months for a new progress video to come out on it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. A lot of effort was put into it. At the start of this video I was at 91 mining, 85 smithing, 65 fletching and 51 crafting. So I had to make a lot of money to get my crafting up to 85. I had loads of adamant ore in the bank from training crafting, but sadly I wasn't 88 smithing or 87 with a +1 boost to make them into adamant plate bodies. I decided to make 603 adamant two-handers, which are worse GP per bar than adamant plate bodies are, but that money would be enough to buy me enough coal and iron at the blast furnace to get to 87 smithing with cannonballs. By the way, you can sell items for their high alch value to the corresponding shop in-game, so adamant two-handers to the two-hander shop. When selling items to shops, you should never sell more than 5 because the price goes down. That's the reason I always sold 5 per world. At this shop right here at Blast Furnace, you can buy iron and coal for an amazing price. So I bought a lot of iron and coal here. By the way, other Ironman would buy gold ore, but I don't have goldsmithing gauntlets because I'm not 59 mage and I'm not planning on getting the hit points experience from the quest. I reached level 86 smithing from smithing steel bars at the blast furnace. After quite some time of blast furnacing, I finished my 12,766 steel bars, which should bring me to level 87 smithing once I made them into cannonballs. And then I made them all into cannonballs and actually reached level 87 smithing. By the way, the total amount of cannonballs I have now is 170k. To make 170k, if you had the steel bars and want to make them into 170k cannonballs, it takes you 79 hours at the perfect rate, so you need to spend quite a bit of time. I went to Falador and bought myself loads of Dwarven Stouts. That way I can boost to the level that I need for adamant plate bodies. So I just drink the Dwarven Stout, then I'm 88, and then I just make some plate bodies. And I use like 1 Dwarven Stout per inventory usually because I'm quite inefficient. I ended up with 669 adamant plate bodies. So then I realized that I still need some more money, but I had 435 rune ore in the bank from Motherlode Mine. So I decided to turn those rune ores into rune bars, get myself some more Dwarven Stouts, and make myself a lot of rune mat helms. So in total I ended up, of course, with 436 rune mat helms, because they need 1 bar to make, and they sell for more than 10k each, so they are an amazing item to make money. Rune swords would be better, but I wasn't 88 smithing yet, so I couldn't boost to 89. So to get the best money out of the items I just made, I sold them to the store in the wilderness. By the way, I later realized that the shop at Blast Furnace actually buys adamant plate bodies, so you should go there to sell your adamant plate bodies and not to the wilderness. So I sold the items to the wilderness store and I used another account of mine to follow, so that way I wouldn't get attacked by the thugs because they could basically one hit me if I wouldn't be careful. So you see right here I'm already failing hard. I made a little mistake and nearly died there against one of the NPCs. I also hopped with my main in front of my ult, so that way I could see if there were other people there. By the way, this shop right here pays good money, like alch value for the items, so for 5 I get 51.8k, which is amazing. First trip made me 1 mil and 36k. In the second trip I died once to an NPC because of the shop owner's weird movement, and he walked under me so the NPC could walk to me. So here I actually would have lost like 1 million if a player killed me, but because an NPC killed me, I just run back and collected the money from the ground. Second trip made me 1 mil and 7k. Third trip went well again, another mil in the bank. Fourth trip I got a bit more greedy and actually took like 130 rune full helms, so 1.3 mil for that trip. Another million made from selling the Eddy plate bodies. Took a bit more Eddy plate bodies and made 1.3 million. Another trip completed, 1.3 million more made. I think this is the second last trip. I died for a second time because I got less careful and somebody left the door open. So I tried to run away, but I misclicked hard and I got hit for a 10. But I was able to collect the items again and didn't lose anything. I think that would be like a 1.4 million loss if I died there to a player. Finished my last trip for 1.4 million and here you see a rare sight. A green cash stack on a 10 HP Iron Man that basically has no combat stats so far. Really nice. Then I did some calculations and realized that I still need some more money. So I mined 206 rune ore at the mining guild. By the way, there's a lot of bots and Venezuelans there, so I used this amazing strategy. So I basically just took 6 other accounts of myself and hopped around there. So I always had a rune ore to mine. All those accounts need to have 60 mining, so it's great that I have so many accounts with lunar diplomacy done. This is an amazing strategy, by the way. You always know on which world there's rune ore to mine. You could do it with a timer, but I rather just hop around a bit with my alternate accounts. Then I started investing my money in the silver ores and some more coal, so I can make myself the rune and eddy bars. In total I bought 59.6k silver ores at this store. This is really expensive and CamQ says that this method isn't good for just crafting training, and he's right about that. But I want to train my fletching to 82 too, so making the silver bolts is the best strategy, because I don't want to get broader fletcher yet, because I need to get a high slayer level for that, and I don't have enough experience I can gain to get that slayer level, so it's not really an option for me, and the silver bolts were an amazing strategy for that. I got to level 88 smithing from smelting all the silver bars and the eddy and rune bars, so that meant that I can now do rune swords with a boost. I turned all the rune bars and eddy bars into rune swords and eddy plate bodies, so I ended up with 364 eddy plate bodies and 206 rune swords. To sell my rune swords safely outside of the wilderness, I had to get some quest points to get into the Champions Guild. So I did Goblin Diplomacy, Druidic Ritual, Romeo and Juliet, Sheep Herder, Ernest the Chicken, Prince Ollie Rescue and Murder Mystery, and I was able to enter the Champions Guild then. So I took my 206 rune swords and sold 5 per world and ended up with a total cash stack of 2.4 million GP. While buying silver ore, I misclicked on this guy right here and I realized that he actually buys eddy plate bodies. And then I tested it out and I realized that he actually pays Alk value. Other than the guy in the Champions Guild who pays the old Alk value, which was around 6k for an eddy plate body, that was actually the case until like 2014. They forgot to update that. After quite some time of buying silver ore, I finally finished buying all the ore I needed. By the way, I used this vertical camera thingy from RuneLite and just bought like this. Then you can just click on the bank right from the buying thingy. You can see I already had 111k bolts smithed. That was because whenever I needed to AFK, I did some bolt smithing and not actually buying ore. I got level 89 smithing while smithing the silver bars, so that means I don't have to boost anymore for rune swords. After quite some time of smithing silver bars, I finally finished all of them. So that means now I can finally get myself 85 crafting. I got level 84 crafting from smithing the silver bars into silver bolts. So quite some time later, I finished all the silver bars. And you might be wondering, hey Michael, you aren't 85 crafting yet. but I still have a lot of nuggets from Motherlode Mine, and I'm going to use those to get gems. I included that in my calculations to get to 85 crafting, because I didn't want to make too many bolts. So I spent all my 1360 gold nuggets I got from 91 mining at Motherlode Mine on bags full of gem. So I already got all the untradeable items from Motherlode Mine before, so those are the leftover golden nuggets. So in total I ended up with 34 bags, and this resulted in quite a collection of gems. Then I cut all the gems. By the way, I got 3 dragon stones, which are really nice. The sad part is I don't have the mage level to enchant them. Then I got level 85 crafting by just making the most useful items for me. So Ring of Recoils, Ring of Duelings and Strength Amulets. Even though I don't know if I will ever use the Strength Amulets, but they're good crafting experience, and I don't know what item to make out of the rubies, since they're mostly useless for someone who wants to go for mainly range at the moment. But right here you can see level 85 crafting. The level for amethyst arrows is achieved. I went to the Shanty Pass and bought myself loads of feathers so I could turn my unfinished silver bolts into silver bolts and gain loads of fletching experience from it. So I used remapped Windows mouse keys similar to how I did it in my world record video, and got done with the silver bolts quite quickly. Little fun fact, for my world record I had to do around 680k darts to get to level 99, and here I did 590k bolts and it got me to level 80. Since I still had a lot of U-locks in my bank, I decided to turn them into U-longbows to get to level 82 fletching. So first I went to pick some flags at the land's end. Actually this is the best place to pick some flags, because you have a deposit box really close to the flags. I turned all the flags into bowstrings in the Lumbridge Castle. So then I hit level 82 fletching on mobile. I like playing on mobile quite a lot when I'm not at home. It's really nice. So to recap once again, in this episode I hit 82 fletching and 85 crafting. Those 2 goals took me ages to complete, so I hope you leave the video a like. And thanks for watching. By the way, right after this video is up, I will be streaming on twitch.tv/MichaelMeyerRS. My Twitter is on the screen and in the description. If you want to contact me directly, try it on Discord. The channel is in the description. There's also a client chat, Michaels_first. And if you want to join that, there are a lot of people chilling in it now, since I made that video that blew up about the world record. Thanks for watching, thanks and bye.